Okay, so since you did introduce the concept of trust, given that insurance is based on trust, the whole contractual obligation for both parties, so do we fundamentally believe that technology enhances that trust? And is it that consumers trust technology more than people?
So I think it has to go together. Actually, most of our staff here is trained in the concept called digital psychology. And because we're so connected and work with our devices so much, we almost, have the, human desire to humanize it, right? And so it is possible to produce trust, through your computer. I'll give you an example. Amazon's the best at this, right? One is it's so easy to buy, one click. That's trust. They also, provide urgency messaging on their site. Like, we can deliver this. If you have Prime, we'll deliver this to you tomorrow. Like, that's trust. So how you communicate in digital and the experience you bring it through has a lot to do with the trust that you inspire. So if I have 10 pages that are really ugly and clearly someone who developed it had put no thought into its user experience, I would lose all trust, right? It's just like when you're shopping, you go to one site versus another, you might not trust that site, and instead you go to another. Like, you might go back to Amazon and buy it because you really trust their service and that they will deliver the products on time and so on.
Yeah, insurance just doesn't work on your package will be there tomorrow.
No, I mean, it doesn't. So, I think it's the context, right?
Yeah.
If you ask that question, you start with what's the context, and the context is unfortunately that the degree of trust by particularly individual consumers in insurance is lower than it ought to be, right? Where exactly that lies is a matter of debate, but it's lower than where it ought to be. And so if you can deploy technology in a manner that increases trust, then I think you're delighting your customers, right? And that's what you want to do. And it's interesting because a lot of the use cases around blockchain and artificial intelligence are just for that at their core, right? How do you implement a process that's going to result in the same decision over and over again given the same inputs? And if that's the case, then people believe that their claim is being adjudicated fairly. And they believe that their insurance company isn't charging them more in auto rates than their neighbor or someone who lives in a different part of town, or whatever the case might be.
And don't forget about humanization that I brought up too. That's a big difference, right? Like, if you go through, some of our consumer brand sites like Kanetix.ca, you'll see our phone numbers everywhere, or a chat button. And we have people to make sure, like, as soon as someone calls, they're picked up. Like, they have an SO, they can't wait. They can't be waiting more than 15, 20 seconds for someone to answer the phone, or longer than that for someone to respond on the chat. So that part of the connection will go a long way and inspire trust. Is how you treat and respond to your customers' requests.
I think it's a bit of a branding exercise as well, because I agree there is sometimes in insurance a lack of trust across all parts of the service chain. Really, it is an industry that's based on trust. So on the life insurance side, I'm making a promise to you that maybe 30 to 40 years down the road, I'll help you if something happens, right? So it is, at its core, it's a trust-based industry, but we haven't branded it well. Like, everybody will trust Google or Amazon or Apple way more than they would trust an insurance service, right? So we have to get that brand right as well. And just, it all goes down to everything you said: consumer experience, usability, simplicity, and just make sure that people realize that the promise that we have is an honorable purpose that insurance serves. And sometimes I get lost along the way.